I am Ashley Victoria Robinson here on behalf of the amazing Comicbook.com, who let me go see X-Men Apocalypse almost a month early. So right up front, I am just going to let you know that this is a spoiler-free review. If you have not seen it, as most of you have not, no need to worry. I will not tread any ground that has not already been covered in the press releases or any of the trailers. So let's start right out the bat. Third movie in a trilogy. Solid movie. Definitely stands up to the other two in the trilogy. You can definitely tell that now they are taking some notes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, however, because there's a surprising amount of humor in this movie. Apocalypse has jokes all over the place. Not the character, not Oscar Isaacs, but the movie. And a lot of that humor, of course, is derived from Evan Peters' version of Quicksilver. Quicksilver is probably the coolest speedster that we have on screen right now. I'm sorry to all you Flash fans, but Evan Peters is the speedster for this girl. And he continues to have one of the most exciting characters in the entire movie. He is endlessly entertaining. He actually looks a little bit like Michael Fassbender. You get to see them in a couple of scenes together, and it's very interesting to see that he does look like he could possibly be Magneto's son. He has another running scene in slow motion with bullets and stuff, like we saw in Days of Future Past. Of course, it is amazing. It is a much larger scale than what we have seen before, but it is nonetheless very, very fun to watch. Now, Evan Peters is one of the younger cast members, and I have to say, the young cast members in this movie and X-Men Apocalypse are killing it, guys. Sophie Turner is a outstanding Jean Grey, and she gets a lot of really interesting things that are typical to the character from the comic books, as well as a truly heroic moment that foreshadows something that is to come for that character. She's great to watch. Her accent is flawless, and she just looks really, really cool on screen in that part. Also, Alexandra Shipp, who is making her debut in the role of Storm with the mohawk, which I have to say didn't have the best wig line, but still looked pretty cool. I'm clocking it right there. She's a great Storm also. Killer dialect work, never dropped it. She seemed powerful. She worked really, really well on the wires, and I am excited to finally have the Storm that we deserve. Aurora Monroe has been very poorly treated in the movies in the past. I'm really sorry if you're a Halle Berry Storm fan, but Alexandra Shipp brings it. She kicks ass, and I'm so excited to see what she's going to do going forward. Kodi Smit-Mcphee as Nightcrawler. Now, if you don't know, Nightcrawler is one of my favorite X-Men characters of all time. Look, he's on my shirt right here. Kurt Wagner, I love him. You can definitely tell that Kodi Smit-Mcphee is taking some notes from what Alan Cumming did in his X2 appearance, and he is doing killer dialect work. He looks amazing. The makeup is flawless. He has the same kind of scars that we saw in X2, and he brings a really interesting levity to this character that I think you're going to see him lose as he gets a little bit older. I was not huge on him as a casting choice given his previous work, but he really nails that character in this movie. Them and Evan Peters, those four actors really carry the brunt of this movie and make it really exciting to watch. Of course, we have your Michael Fassbender and you have your James McAvoy. They're killing it, doing exactly what they've been doing for 3 movies now. We do have James McAvoy back in the same fake nose, and let's just say that there maybe is something else that happens that makes him look a little more like we're used to seeing Professor X in some of his other appearances. The action in this movie is solid. The fights look really, really cool. I will say that Apocalypse, for me, did not live up to my expectations, and the movie is 2.5 hours long, and it kind of feels like it. That's my only real knock against it. X-Men Apocalypse is a long freaking movie, guys. Although it very strongly rounds out this trilogy, definitely making the X-Men First Class, as I will call it, trilogy the strongest of the two, and then the Wolverine movies that were kind of gonna pretend didn't happen. The music doesn't live up to it the way First Class did. First Class was composed by Henry Jackman and I think had better themes for all the characters. You do hear Charles's theme repeated from that movie a couple times throughout, and you hear the classic X-Men theme throughout the movie, which is entertaining and does a great job to fit the mood, but they didn't really take the opportunity to explore the kind of music that Apocalypse and some of their more exotic settings would maybe have, which I think was really a missed opportunity. Overall, X-Men Apocalypse is a really, really good time. If you were a fan of Bryan Singer's movies, if you were a fan of the X-Men movies, if you're a fan of the X-Men characters, it is not true to any specific X-Men Apocalypse story that we've seen in the past. This is not the age of. I'm really sorry about it, but you do see a lot of the basic tenets that we like about this character and his conquering ways. You see your horsemen, they are there. It is entertaining. It is long for those who like that kind of thing, and everybody in the cast is doing an amazing job, especially the young upstarts that some of us older folks weren't quite sure about. Now, out of a potential 5 stars, I am going to give X-Men Apocalypse 4 stars. It was not perfect. I mentioned Apocalypse's look, but we've all been over that before. I mentioned the length, but it is pretty close to being just one of the best X-Men movies that we have ever had on screen. Thank you so much for watching this review. You can find a written review over on Comicbook.com. You can find all kinds of videos here on this channel, all kinds of articles over on this site. I am Ashley Victoria Robinson. You can find me hosting Comic Book Now every Tuesday and Thursday over on the Facebook. Follow at Comic Book on Twitter. Follow me at Ashley V. Robinson on Twitter. And guys, I gotta bamf out of here, so be safe and make good choices.